Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, still playing a ton of Magic Legends as you might have suspected. I wanted to kind of get a good accurate feel for the progression kind of mid to late game, and I wanted to see how long it really truly takes for the game to get repetitive, and I think I've hit that and I'm around level 53. Now I'm not just level 53, I'm level 53 mono-colored, which is a very big difference from what I hear. My gear score is, as of right now, just short of 1,000, believe it or not. And I've done grindy things on purpose to kind of artificially increase my level of mana and how quickly I can advance my sanctum. So most of my buildings are at level 6. I couldn't tell you how many hours I've played, but yeah, I mean, I've run the missions enough times that I'm like, okay, it's getting a little, eh. But I ran most of them solo, and now Legends is running their first special event, and it is mind-blowingly boring, and they make you do it like once a day for 14 days, I think in approximately a 22-day period. So not too high pressure, so it's like, oh, jump on, you miss a day, whatever, you know. You get 14 things, you unlock a spell, and then you also get this, 100,000 gold and 150,000 unrefined ether. Hello. That's pretty generous, and the spell is like freaking amazing. If you know the ability Righteousness in game, that's the hint I'm gonna give you. Unfortunately, it's a red spell, which really makes me want a white-red mix, but I'm going mono. Gotta live that mono-white life. So I have noticed that playing with friends is way more fun, and even just playing in a group is kind of at least faster. People, I mean, there's no voice chat. They don't tend to, talk in the chat because you're busy blowing people up. But boy, you compare this to like DDO with the Rizia event where they had like all the stuff with like the ice ramps and even the the like fall harvest event or whatever in Neverwinter, which is actually a game by Cryptic, the same makers of Magic Legends. That thing was just like 8 Mario Party mini games all together that, it was only around for like a week or two and nobody got sick of it, and it was really genuinely actually fun. This one, it's like go to the smallest map and kill the same enemies over and over for 10 minutes and then win. Not even really in waves. Just 10 minutes of blowing up enemies on a tiny map, shaped like a donut. What a great impression to make for the very first special event. That was quite dumb in a game that's been accused of being repetitive. I would have rolled out the most outrageously fun thing ever, but I mean, maybe they don't want to do it while it's in beta, but you also don't want to drive people away, because it's not really in beta, let's be honest. But anyway, we do have a third state of the game from the company, so I gave my little state of the game, but as of actually Thursday, April 8th, we have another statement from Steve Ricossa, Ricossa. I'll get it one of these times. By the way, the tone of the first one and even kind of the second one was kind of like corporate PR, high level, generic fluff, whatever. Now it's like, you can tell they've been working really long hours and he's like already sick of the community's crap to like a little extent. Like, we're getting to him a little bit. I can tell. Just by the way this is written, it's actually kind of funny. It makes me want to do a fourth one, but make it a parody. But I get the feeling that they're still being professional, but they went from like, oh, some gameplay things and whatever, we're working on it, to like exactly naming very specific things. Which cool. I mean, you go from general to narrow. I get it. You get a map together. There's going to be a mid-April patch, which I'm still waiting for, and yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you were still prioritizing the tickets as they came in. I mean, one of these came out like 5 days after the game came out, these State of the Games. So let's jump into this one, which honestly makes me think that they have switched from a water cooler to something that serves hard liquor at their office. So it opens with, hello, Planeswalkers, your executive producer, Steve Ricossa here. I'm back for another State of the Game update, letting you know some of our upcoming changes and other ideas floating amongst the team as a result of all your fantastic feedback. We've already made some near-term adjustments. That is true. They've actually astonishingly quickly patched some things, especially compared to like, Cyberpunk. Let's see. And then he says, and there's more to come. Fantastic. We're another week into our journey to a full launch, and I have more updates, responses to feedback, information about our mid-April build, and a tease of our new event that starts this weekend. It would be great if I actually covered these on time. So he spoke to the team about some performance upgrades for Tazim specifically, which I've noticed is the most problematic plane for, frame rate drops. That's not good when that's the first plane you go to. That is a bad impression. You're stuck there for hours. So it basically says they fixed some things, but they've discovered even more opportunities to crank up the performance. I'm not happy with the performance, and I got a brand new 3080. So then just the generic, it'll take a while, be patient. He reiterates what they said last time, where they're shortening the Tazim tutorial thing in the first plane. They're actually cutting out some smart stuff. Like he said specifically, they're completely eliminating the requirement to fast travel back to Briarthorn Glade to turn in your mission. It'll just complete when you complete it. Yeah, generic walking and backtracking back to a place while killing the same enemies you already saw. I mean, I liked walking around and exploring, but that's because, like, I was reviewing the game, I guess. Like, I wanted to go see some stuff. But, you know, free games attract kids, and kids are very impatient and ADD, especially these days. So, what do you expect? So, for the Battle Pass, it turns out some of the missions that you can get in the Battle Pass, even if you complete them, they won't get marked as completed. They are, quote, rapidly moving to fix these specific missions. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have had a Battle Pass until the launch. Why did you roll it out during beta? That's so stupid. I guess if there's issues with it, you want to know during the beta, but bad luck. So they did fast forward everybody's 7 days, and he kind of made a comment like, okay, yeah, that should make up for it. Like, even retroactively, now that we know this is an issue, we still accelerated you guys 7 days. Which, by the way, like, the first 10 levels of rewards are, like, pretty good. But check it out, they say they'll be running Battle Pass double XP weekends, which, the Battle Pass doesn't run on XP, so... Unless they mean, like, if you signed up for the Premium Battle Pass, you get double XP. That would actually be kind of nice, especially at my level. But I assume he means, like, a double mission, where, like, you complete 2 missions and then advance it by 2 stages. Maybe it does use XP, and I just never looked at it. Next, he addresses currency caps, which everybody's pissed about because they want to play for, 14 hours straight and then be the richest person in the game on day one, which, I'm getting the impression a lot of dumb kids and teenagers play this game. The first thing I saw was, well, first of all, I'm used to it Neverwinter, the refinement cap. Like, per day, yeah, that ain't nothing new. But the first thing I thought when I saw it was, oh yeah, they probably should do that for balance reasons. And the first thing he says is currency caps allow us to make sure the economy doesn't get too out of whack if we end up over-rewarding somewhere. I mean, you'll still catch up with that, so that would be bad. Don't do that. But yeah, letting people progress too fast could be an issue. I mean, debatably, to me, it's like, oh, make sure you log in and do your dailies. Any game that basically has the do your dailies thing right off the bat seems like a mobile game. I hate it. I want to play when I want to play. If I don't want to play for 3 days, there shouldn't be a penalty and I shouldn't miss anything. It should be progress whenever you want, however you want, and no, oh, you missed it, or oh, you have to log in today whether you want to or not. That kind of shit is like the biggest turnoff ever. And this game is kind of resembling that a little bit, just saying. I mean, it's a little bit of more of a buffer. Like, you have 3 weeks to complete this 2-week event, but you still need to be there, 2/3 of the time. So you could miss out on that spell permanently if you, like, go on vacation for 5 days. Or if another game comes out and you play that instead, or you spent all your time playing Among Us with your friends or whatever. Basically forcing the player at gunpoint to come back to the game or they're going to miss out on something, that's, like I said, pretty big turnoff. I've played games like that. I hate games like that. And Neverwinter did eventually kind of devolve into that with, like, the Black Ice stuff. God, was that the most harsh, obnoxious currency cap ever. And it's just, you could not unlock the armor faster than like 60 days or 45 days. You couldn't do it. That just pissed me off. There was no way past it. And they're like, well, that's how it's, pay to win, but not really. You have to play to get the highest quality, whatever. Yeah, but I don't want to play every day. Okay. And it was exactly 24 hours. It was like exactly daily. Oh, so annoying. That's why I ended up just like doing it and then just dumping all my effort into PvP and becoming, top 1% in PvP, because at least that I could do whatever the hell I wanted. So maybe they should completely do away with the currency caps and the daily crap, but I don't know. That would be pretty drastic for a change in direction, both for their company's style of running games and for how the game is balanced. So we'll see. But he says, okay, with all the balancing and all that being said, we are hearing your feedback and are evaluating some ways to reduce the pinch and provide some options for players that want to engage more deeply than the current currency cap allows. That sounds an awful lot like a pay-to-win bypass to me. Which, as far as I know, there already is in the game. If you take Zen and sell it for Ether, you don't get unrefined Ether, you get refined Ether, right? There's your daily 50k bypass. The one thing that just pisses me off more than anything is the stupid 20 trading things when you could just trade in 100 of the same item and eat up all 10 of your trading tokens. That's bullshit. They need to get rid of that immediately. Now, if they completely got rid of it, I mean, I'm saying 30 minimum. You can stack up, I think, up to 20 or 30 or something like that if you just like don't log in for a couple days, but it should be 30 to 100. There should still be a limit, because if they let me just play for a couple hours and then sell off every single spell scroll that I don't give a crap about, in other words, anything but mono white, I would have like 1,000,000 gold on like day one. That means that sparing the actual upgrade components, which I'm also almost maxed on, I could get all level 20 artifacts in one day, which would up my gear score, which would up my damage multiplier, which would make me over-leveled for everything and make me instantly run everything at the master difficulty and have nowhere to go from there. So I get it, but it's like 30,000 gold a day on a good day. It's just terrible without world enchantments though, and those kind of vary. They need to make it bare minimum 20 a day realistically. I'd prefer, like I said, 30 to 100, but 10 is not enough, or they need to double the consideration for the spell scrolls. And remember, I have the building already that upgrades the number of spell scrolls that are considered to be one trade token item. That actually is a building upgrade, like mid to late. So the mid-April mega patch has 450 bug fixes in it already, and I swear to God, I will drop the game on the spot if this build does not fix the number one problem that is making it so I literally cannot play about half the game. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I am constantly randomly in combat. I haven't been able to find a workaround. I haven't figured out a pattern. I thought it had to do with creature summons. Turns out that's not true. Thought it had to do with my necro ability on my ring. Turned out that wasn't true. I've gotten stuck not being able to finish quests. I can't do relic runs because I can't collect anything, because it says you can't collect this while in combat. Everybody on the map is dead. I am not in combat. I assure you I'm not in combat. And yet they think I'm in combat. If I go to the world boss and either die once or show up not in the first 2 minutes, sorry, I can't enter. I'm in combat. And then like 4 minutes later, I won't be in combat for some reason and can enter. Makes no sense, no consistency. I am pissed off. I'm sick of wasting my time and going to missions that I can't complete and then completing missions and not being able to pick up the loot. That is bullshit. If they don't fix that, I am done with this game. That is such a critical fix. They should have, if they knew about it, should have rolled it out already and not waited for a mid-April build. This is absolute top-level critical. And if they didn't mark it as such, they're idiots. I am going to verbally rip them a new ass and actively tell people to never touch this game ever again if they do not fix this in the mid-April build. I am just not going to play a game where all the most important interactable objects I can't interact with 80 to 90% of the time. Anyway, I haven't heard that problem mentioned anywhere, and I don't think I've even seen other people appearing to experience that. So what I probably should do is get around to reporting the glitch in case it's just specific to my account for some fucking reason. But yeah, they say, I don't know, if you unlock a second class, which I still think you shouldn't do, I think you should run mono, unless you want to be more powerful and out-level everybody real quick. They'll give you the full 12-spell starter deck that you would normally get during the tutorial for that class. They'll unlock it immediately, and for everybody who already unlocked that class, they're going to do it retroactively. There's performance fixes, there's just a bunch of crap I don't care about. Just fix the damn cannot interact because you're in combat glitch. Fix it. I honestly could care less about anything else. So then they have a section that says late breaking feedback. We've seen feedback coming in recently on the following items, and I wanted to at least briefly touch on them this week. Like I said, they went from we're making general performance fixes to, okay, this one specific exact thing, yeah, we get it, you're pissed. We heard about it 1,000,000 times on the forums. Okay, fine, we're addressing it. So, multiplayer missions ending and losing out on drop loot if the reward chest is opened too hastily. People have been super polite about this because we all know that it affects all of us. So, on the donut map that everybody's been running mad sick metal circle pits on all day, aka the new stupid event, everybody lets everybody do a lap around and pick up their loot that they might have missed first. And then you stand there, and when all people are gathered and kind of standing still, then they open the chest. 95% of the time, people are like cool like that. But you could be missing like dozens of spell pages if you don't do that. If somebody just, okay, well, Let's talk to the NPC. Done, and opens it, and it just kicks you straight out. You could be leaving like rare loot, like actual like glowing, was it orange or whatever, items on the map, and because somebody else opened the end treasure chest, you're screwed. Oh, I'd throw my computer clear out the window. And so people get nervous about that, and they're looting stuff in the middle of battle just so that they don't miss it later if it's like the last minute, and they're purposely not engaging the final boss. Yeah, it would be great if they fixed that. AFK players farming rewards. Yes, somebody did this to me, and I put them on blast so hard they'll be lucky if they can use that username on the internet ever again. What they would do is they'd go into the mission, and then die once, or clip through the map so that they can't be reached. That one was a fun one. And then just sit there, never respawn, never participate. And then when, they know that event is exactly 10 minutes, so they'll come back 10 minutes and 1 second later, and, just collect the rewards, and then, respawn, collect the rewards, leave. They don't get anything for the kills, but they get mad amounts of mana. So just imagine, set your alarm for every 10 minutes, jump in, AFK, get tons of mana. And then do that on a loop for like hours, yeah, you would rack up some mana. So shady little shitlords have been doing that, and I am pissed about it. So check out the way they phrased this. Our game engine has built-in AFK penalty technology. That's the first sentence. I like the first sentence. And since this issue is coming up, we'll start spinning it up. Oh, y'all about to get It will take a little time for us to get the values correct for each mission, but getting this online is something we'll work on. Okay, the mission's 10 minutes. If they go AFK for 1 minute, boot them. Simple. Next up, mission queue notifications. I'm not going to read everything you put. We all know that it's complete garbage. You hit accept, it freezes, it doesn't look like you hit the button, then you spam it, then it breaks, then you hit reject, then it pops up in a loop, then you can't travel, then it freezes up the game, then you join an instance that's empty, then you get a bunch of errors. Basically, all that shit, he says they're going to fix it. Oh, and there's solution to the public match taking too long. Do you want to go private notification that's really intrusive, that covers like half the screen that you can't get rid of? His solution isn't, attract more players or put a public list of all active queues. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to hide the UI. In the game, I don't know how many people are playing at a given time, but it is impossible to join any public queue for any mission at any difficulty and actually get paired up with people. I have had it happen, I think, on day 2 once. That's it. Besides the special event that's going on right now where you get paired up in about a millisecond, it is not possible to run a mission with the public, with other players. This is basically a single player game. I've tried it probably about 50 to 100 times. I'm like, oh my God, this would go 3 times faster, or you literally need 2 or 3 people to beat the mission effectively and get gold rank. And I've just sat there in the public queue for like 10 minutes and nobody shows up. We need a central list so I could just be like, I don't know, I'll run one of these 5 missions. I'm not going to check each of them and see who's where and who can get 3 people. Just give me a list of every session going on. Okay, cool, I'll join that one. Done. Just like that. That's what they need to roll out, and he didn't mention anything about that, so great. Hope you got a good friends list. And finally, the Overworld Reliquary audio ping. Need I say more? It is chipping away at people's sanity, and he says they're evaluating a way to perhaps turn it off. That sound, it gets inside your brain, okay? It starts chipping away at your very essence. It is the most grating, obnoxious. Oh, I hate it. Even when I'm looking for a reliquary run, which is never, because I'm basically maxed on everything because they won't give me enough freaking gold per day. Even when I'm looking for it, I'm like, boy, that is really loud and obnoxious and very grating. It's just at that right pitch to just piss you off. And enough players have said, I am done with the pinging. Somebody please save me. I've muted the entire game. I'm starting to see things that aren't there. Send help, please. That they decided to do something about it. And that's about it for this one. But I gotta say, if they would roll out spells, that they already doubled the new spell drop rate, but I could care less about other colors of spells. Now I know a lot of people are, double, triple, or just go straight 5 color. So they're like, oh, new spell every day. Wow. But I'm just like, it's been days since I picked up a white spell, and the last couple I picked up were absolute garbage that are irrelevant to my build. So the same 12 attacks in the same deck, and I only have 2 deck variants, and one was made specifically for the Mayhem event. Yeah, would be nice to mix it up a little bit. Would be nice to upgrade that since I'm already stalled out on upgrading my equipment and completely stalled out on upgrading my artifacts. Oh, and my buildings. And give us 3 deck slots, come on. So I estimate within about 4 days and for sure in 2 weeks, I'm going to have, I think, all level 6 or 7 buildings in my main sanctum, which means that my gear score, because my spells will be able to get higher, will be above 1000, which means that I should have a damage multiplier of 8x or higher, which means I should be able to absolutely rip some bitches apart in even mastery difficulties. So if you want to get in on some of that, I've been known to drag level 11 people through master level quests. It's very entertaining on live stream to watch that. So if you want to be entertained by that or you want to join in on the fun, first of all, add me. I'm Desolator777 in game. I don't have any numbers after my username because I'm OG like that. My main character is, of course, Oakland Tony, and I would love to play with you guys on live stream. Shout out to Mono Black, and who else jumped in? Let me think. I don't know. They're going to kill me, but it was somebody who has a different name on YouTube, different name on Discord, and then a different name, of course, in Magic Legends. My limit is 1 level of enumerations, and even that I kind of screw up some of the time. You got 3 layers of different identities. I'm out. You're a stranger. I don't know who you are. So hey, watch for that in the near future. I'm still having fun with the game, whatever. It's getting more kind of repetitive and passive, and I'm getting, better at it, and I'm just kind of running stuff to run it just to do dailies and whatever, which is nice because then you can kind of like, on and off watch or listen to YouTube without having to like over focus on the game. Now that said, there are some intense boss battles where you'd want to pay attention though. So that is pretty cool. So I'd still kind of recommend it, but I could see how it's not for everyone and people would get sick of it kind of quickly. But it's definitely worth checking out just to run through all of the Plains storylines and meet all the characters that you've seen on the cards for years. That's just absolutely worth the price of admission, which is 0. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in game.